JR Reed tore the anterior cruciate ligament in his knee while returning a punt during his prep senior year at Prestonwood Christian Academy in Plano, Texas. And it wasn't as if he was a highly touted Georgia commit when that happened. There was no Kirby Smart to assure him he'd have his scholarship honored. Quite the opposite, in fact, and not at all what you would have expected from a guy whose father is 12-year NFL veteran wideout Jake Reed, and he had a chance to play football at Yale University. No matter where he chose to play, though, JR needed months to rehab his knee, which is a test of character, altogether different than football. But he took an offer to gray shirt from June Jones at SMU. Problem is, Jones resigned at SMU, and when Chad Morris took over, he did not honor Reed's gray shirt. So Reed went to Tulsa. In 1 year with the Golden Hurricane, he played in 13 games, recorded 5 tackles and a pass breakup. He stayed through spring practice in 2016, finished spring finals that May, called his dad and told him he was going to transfer. Where? He didn't know where, not immediately. He just knew he didn't want to be at Tulsa any longer. His father assured him, TU coaches said, he was doing well and could end up starting the 2016 season. He said he did not want to be a starter at TU. He had a bigger school in mind, not unlike Baker Mayfield, who transferred from Texas Tech to Oklahoma. And with that, JR and Jake told Philip Montgomery he was out. Out to where, though? His younger cousin is former 2017 five-star D'Angelo Gibbs, and being family, Reed had a hunch where his cousin was going to commit and sign. Gibbs later transferred to Tennessee, but not before Reed transferred and walked on to UGA in June 2016. He sat out the season for the second time in 3 years, but his speed, size, and intellect stood out to Smart, and he asked him to play safety, which was a position of need for UGA back then. Reed responded because, well, that's just what he's done from jump. Respond. He started 15 games as a sophomore, was the team's second leading tackler with 79 and 11 against Auburn alone, on a UGA team that finished as runner-up for the national title. As a junior, he was voted team captain and started all 14 games, registering interceptions against Alabama and South Carolina. In January, he announced he was going to skip, entering the NFL draft early to help lead his team back, hopefully, to the national title game and finish the job this time in 2019. He has since graduated from the University of Georgia, and Reed is fourth on the team with 46 tackles, including 2 tackles for loss, and has one of the team's 6 interceptions. Starting a team-leading 40 straight games, Reed forced a fumble during the shutout victory over Kentucky and collected a fumble that he returned 14 yards for a touchdown earlier this season against Murray State. With Reed directing traffic on the Bulldog defense, Georgia leads the SEC in scoring defense at 10.7 points per game. That's second nationally. Rushing defense at 68.5 yards per game. That is also second nationally. And in total defense at 267.8 yards per game, which is fifth nationally. He is beloved by his teammates. He is respected by his coaches. He has repeatedly bet on himself, and he's repeatedly cashed the check. JR Reed is one of the 3 finest defensive backs in college football. And he's got the character and wherewithal to prove it. And that's why he wears the C at Stanford. That's Paycom Jim Thorpe Award finalist. Jeff Okudah told The Athletic he makes a habit of taking in a banner at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center. It's the one that says CB. On it, you'll see names: Marshawn Lattimore, Eli Apple, Gary and Conley. There are others, and there's no reported way to get on the banner, but Okudah figures he knows how. Be one of the best. Be one of the greats. At Ohio State, it's just the standard. This is the place where 4 defensive backs have been drafted in the first round in the last 3 years. And unlike Reed, Okudah's career has always been about working toward this moment. He was a 5-star recruit, the best cornerback in the 2017 class, and the number 8 player overall in it. He's one of the rare jewels who chose to leave the Texas regional footprint and go where Denzel Ward had been taken 4th overall and Chris Gamble played both ways. It's also where his late mother, Maria, wanted him to attend school. She battled lymphoma for 15 years. Her homegoing came in January 2017. She never got to see her boy play as a Buckeye. He was on campus in Columbus for just a week before he helped lay her to rest. It is from her that he gets his strength. It is because of her that we get to see that resolve and character displayed. This season, Okudah leads a studded defensive group, and he has been pivotal in their statistical turnaround from a year ago under a first-year coordinator in Jeff Hafley. He is tied for second in the Big Ten with 3 interceptions and 4 pass breakups for 7 total passes defended along with 25 tackles. His play has allowed the Ohio State defense to have the nation's number 1 ranked unit against the pass, allowing an average of just 126.2 yards per game and a nation's low 6 touchdown passes. Only 2 opponents have passed for more than 200 yards against the Buckeyes this season, and the team has given up just 6 pass plays of 30 yards or more, also the best in the nation. After making his first career interception in a win over Miami of Ohio in the 4th game of the season, Okudah had 2 interceptions next week in a 48-7 win at Nebraska. He's made at least 1 tackle in 9 of 11 games this season and also has 2 forced fumbles. Now, forget that he has 3 interceptions this season. Remember that he didn't have any before it. Forget that he's had this amazing year. Remember what he had to go through to get here. It's a Paycom Jim Thorpe Award finalist. LSU safeties coach Bill Bush held court at a coaches clinic, getting ready to put high school coaches through their paces and then show them how he's coached and put together one of the best group of defensive backs in the country. He pulled up tape of the man wearing Pat Peterson's number 7 down in Baton Rouge. And he said, reported by The Athletic, "This is Grant Delpit. Obviously, he's fun to coach. First team All-American. He's the best safety in the country. And if he does this whole thing right, he'll be a Hall of Fame player." And on that tape that he showed, the 6'3" ball hawk, who hits like an absolute hammer, a hawk hammer, cuts across the field to pick off a pass. Next, he careered off the edge, rips past an offensive tackle, and that's a snack, that's a rack, that's a sack. He's as gifted as Jamal Adams and Tyrann Mathieu before him. At LSU, they call him Baby Maul after Jamal Adams. Now, the Boomers will love how little he celebrates making a play. He doesn't bat flip, line dance, or take selfies with fans before the clock strikes 0. That's when former NFL assistant Jerry Sullivan nailed Delpit to the wall. He told The Athletic, "He elevates people. He loves the game. Plays his ass off every week. You know what you're going to get." Delpit can bounce, pounce, and explode. He also can have your favorite offensive coordinator nervous and loose over the commode, sweating out where Delpit is going to Casper. He's played corner and linebacker, but he's special at safety because his football intel processes like a chip intel. And in this, his household name year, he's played hurt and refused to quit, refused to pack it in and just go through the draft process. He's missed 2 weeks of preseason camp because the injury bug bit him, then as it bites him now. He was held out of the game against Arkansas with the hope of keeping him fresh enough to finish the season unbeaten and get as close to putting the throttle on the floor against Georgia in the SEC title game as possible. He's had to become a better teacher as he's helping raise one of the burgeoning stars and best hell-raising freshmen I've ever seen in cornerback Derek Stingley Jr. Delpit watched former LSU linebacker Devin White to learn how to do that. But he learned resolve like many children did when Hurricane Katrina hit his hometown, New Orleans. He was displaced in 2005 and he moved to Houston. At 6, he and his family were staying with his cousin and NFL veteran fullback Lorenzo Neal. And what does New Orleans mean to the Delpits? They had season tickets to the Saints, and they kept them even as they were living in Houston. He was always going to go to LSU given the chance, and he'd play for the Saints given the chance. When he arrived at St. Thomas High, he was a 5'6", 125-pound runt of a player. That runt, though, could ball. His high school defensive coordinator had it right. If you're getting hit by Delpit back then, you're getting every bit of that 125. He recruited himself to IMG Academy, reaching out to the program to say, "You should come see me." They did. He became an ascender, playing in the same defense as Dylan Moses of Alabama and Isaiah Pryor, formerly of Ohio State. But he got styled on early, and IMG defense coordinator Donnie Abraham put him through his paces. In their 4-2-5 system, Abraham would ask, in a 2x2 open set double verticals concept with the defense in cover 4, what's everybody's assignment? Not only did he know, he led IMG with 6 interceptions, notching 47 tackles, and to a 13-0 record in 2016. In 36 games at LSU, he's made 33 starts. He had 11 tackles against Mississippi State this year. So far in his career, he's recorded 184 career tackles, 15 tackles for loss, 5 sacks, 29 pass breaks, and 7 picks. He knows he's balling now, but that's not arrogance. That's not even cockiness. That's just knowing. As Jimmy Breslin said, if you don't blow your own trumpet, there is no music. Still, I'm going to add this quote he gave The Athletic because I think it's important to underscore who Delpit is and what he believes about being cocksure. You can't be cocky, he said. I try to be the most humble person ever. I try to pay attention to a lot of things, just bringing everybody up around me, encouraging them, showing them I can do it first. And if I can do it, you can do it. It's not that hard. That's a Paycom Jim Thorpe Award finalist. The Paycom Jim Thorpe Award is given. Strike that. The Paycom Jim Thorpe Award is earned by the nation's best defensive back. I dare you to pick among those 3. I am a sitting member of the Paycom Jim Thorpe Award Selection Committee, and this award means the world to me. Deuces.